What's up, everybody? It is Risky Luke from Rysk Brewing. Today's the day. 5 for 5. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take $500 and we are going to build a brew house and make 5 gallons of beer. I know it's a bit expensive, but at the end of it, we will have a full brew house. So I'm gonna take the opportunity to pass along some quick information, stuff that I've learned brewing on bigger systems and knowledge of the industry and stuff like that, and sort of translate that into some beneficial thoughts, so stuff that you should have, some things to think about when you're outfitting your base system. So I wanna get going, I wanna pick up the stainless, so I'm gonna put you over there, and I'll see you at Brewer's Pantry. Peace. Oh, it smells good in here.
Hey.
How you doing, Chris?
And look who it
Oh,
is.
hold on. We gotta edit. The editing process is so much fun.
Yeah?
You just put music over shit and you don't have to really say anything. The best part about this is if you talk with your homebrew supply dude, he'll make it work for you.
Get it set up.
And any homebrew supply store of any repute has beer on tap.
Of course.
$17 and we get to lose $9. So we're still laughing. This is a lot of fun. So here's what we got. I think we put together a really awesome system that is definitely capable of brewing beer. This is called an auto siphon. You stick it in your bucket, you go boom, and it automatically starts racking your beer. And this guy is a cheap, simple bottling wand. You are also going to want a bunch of 3/8 ID hose because it goes on things like your racking cane, your bottling wand, your wort chiller. Now, because we had the limit of $500, we couldn't at this point get into a kegging solution because you don't want to sort of half-ass a keg. You want to build it right so it's reliable. That's sort of the point. So we went with bottles. I'm going to show you some of this stuff. Like this guy here, we went for fermentation in 5-gallon pails. Simple, it's effective, works great. Simple 3-piece airlock and a bung. Pop that out because I've got it in really tight. Simple as can be. Any airlock will work. Doesn't matter if you've got the 2-loop S1, it doesn't matter if you've got the 3-piece. And then because we're bottling, you want, this one's heavier because it's full of grain, and the caps for the bottling, but this guy here, you want that for bottling. Now, I went with this pot here. It's a simple 8 and a bit gallon Mash King. It's got the ball on off, ball lock weldless on off with a lock. which is a pain in the ass, but it's good. Now, it's important to note, I didn't get a graduated, which means inside, there's no lines up the back that tells you how much liquid is in this pot. And I did that for a reason. You don't know if the graduations are accurate. So you're gonna have to, as soon as you get a graduated pot, you're gonna have to take a measuring cup, fill it up, and make sure the graduations on the back are the same. So if you're gonna do that process anyways, why spend the extra money on a graduated kettle? Sure, it seems easy, but you know what? You're gonna do it anyways. You might as well know what you're doing. Temperature control. This kettle does have a thermometer on the side of the kettle, and I do recommend that. It makes life so much easier to be able to glance at the side of the kettle when you're boiling. And for this instance, because we're brewing a bag, it'll also let you get to your mash temperature really quick. It's just a really, really handy feature to have. Don't buy a kettle without a thermometer on the side of it. And get one with a weldless ball lock on the side. Now, I will tell you, when you get a kettle, before you put water in it, you're gonna wanna double check and make sure your fittings are nice and tight. There's no leaks, there's no drama. And everything is a silicone washer. You don't need to crank the hell out of it. You just need to make sure it's firm. Now, coolers. An industrious person can buy a very long, flexible copper tube and wrap one of these themselves. We went with this. It's a small diameter. It's perfect for this setup. Give somebody the money. Now you got one. Treat it well. Treat it like you want to keep it. It'll last forever. If you brew all grain, it'll work no problem. If you brew on a 10-gallon system, this wort chiller work no problem. That's always awesome to have one of these guys laying around. You want the biggest brew in a bag that you can find. This bag is half again as big as that pot. I could fill that whole pot with this bag and there would still be bag left. But that's what you want. Get a big bag. You're not gonna wreck it. Get a big bag. With every system, you have to get three things. You have to get, and they're all white powdery things. You have to get PBW, which is powdered brewer's wash. Because we are bottling, so we've got our PBW at the bottom here. Because we're bottling, you're gonna want priming sugar. This isn't a video teaching you how to brew beer. That exists on YouTube already. I'm not gonna teach you how to brew beer. You should know how to brew beer. You should have seen countless videos on brewing beer. Or what the hell are you spending 500 bucks on a system to brew beer if you don't know what brewing beer is? That makes you a crazy person. So, because we went bottling, we grabbed some priming sugar. Even if you're not gonna bottle, it's a good idea to have a pound of priming sugar. It just is. You never know, it's not gonna go bad. You just throw it in your thing and there it is. And the other thing that you're gonna wanna buy is a pound of Dex. Dextrose will give you a little kick in the alcohol department. It's just another good consumable. I think it's $3 for a pound. It is absolutely worth incorporating that $3 into your $500 system, because at some point you're gonna need it. You're gonna be wicked glad that you had it. All right, Star San. Star San is your best friend. The default when you see Star San, or you're at your homebrew supply or anything like that, is the little thin bottles of Star San. I'm telling you, upgrade. The pre-portioned amount is key to success in life. So upgrade your Star San to this size. I think this guy's 12 bucks. All right, it's worth every penny. I think the small one's 8, this one's 12. Spend the extra money. It's super worth it. Okay, so we've handled the bag, we've handled that, we've handled our digital thermometer. Even if your kettle has got a thermometer on it, you must have a digital thermometer. You need, well, it doesn't have to be a digital thermometer, but an accurate thermometer. It can certainly be a dial thermometer, but it's got to be a good one. You're going to need to know temperatures of the wort when it's in the fermenter before you pitch the yeast. You're going to want to be able to monitor your mash temperature. Even though we're brewing in a bag, at this stage, maybe later we're going to brew something bigger and we're going to use an actual mash tun, which will be next for this series. You're going to want to be able to monitor the temperature of things. Super important. They're like $9. Get a good one. This is a hydrometer. This will tell you the specific gravity of your wort. Now, right before you pitch yeast, it's going to tell you how much sugar is in the water. And right before you put it in bottles or kegs or whatever, it's going to tell you how much sugar is left. And with those two numbers, you're going to know what your ABV is. You're going to take the big number, subtract the little number, and you're going to know how much alcohol you got. Very, very, very important tool. You will see home brewers using this guy. This is a refractometer. It does the exact same job as this. It's just a way to spend $70 as opposed to $12. You want the $12 version. Another thing that we need to talk about is breaking the surface tension of the bubbles on the top of your wort. It's odorless, it's tasteless, will not affect anything, but it'll keep you from boiling over. It is an absolute must. Firm cap, absolute must. The only thing that I don't have here, because it is in the other room, buy a big bag of Wolflock tablets. Make your beer more clear and happy. I'm going to show you the last and the most important part of homebrew. It's a $6 part. It's this guy right here. This is a flow regulator knob. That is the most important thing in the world, because you can unscrew your water hose. Still pressure in your line. You can screw it in to your wort chiller. And now you can control the flow in your wort chiller. Slower water, more efficient cooling. It's a part that you should absolutely have. Stuff like that is what makes brewing much easier. You won't dump as much water out. You'll be able to sort of calculate your temperatures by the speed of your water. You will get a feel for this sort of thing. Go to Home Hardware or Rona or Canadian Tire, buy this guy. It's a $6 part maybe, and it's worth it. All right, so that is an overview of what we've got and what you need. I'm going to put a full article explaining everything on rysk.ca/5for5. I think that'll be the URL, I don't know. But there'll be links all over the website and we'll be talking about it. But that's what you need. I think the whole system came out to 400, and I have the paper, it's like $493. I think that was everything except for the ball valve for the garden hose. And I got that at Home Hardware, and I don't know, it was $5, $6. I don't know. And it was obviously before tax, but That's the little secret. Now, again, I will reiterate, if you go through an online retailer like OBK or Northern Brewer or something like that, you will get more junk for your money. But that's not what you want. You want to build a relationship with your homebrew supply guy. You want to be a part of the community. The best part of being a home brewer isn't the beer. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a big plus, but the best part is trying other people's beer, being at an event, hanging out, letting people try your beer. It's about community. It's about building friendship. And I tell you what, I have not yet met a person who brews beer that's a dick. For whatever it's worth, apparently brewing beer makes you a cool person. Whoa! Wow! Wow! I feel like Christopher Walken all of a sudden with the light. Because I have to go edit this video for you, I'm not going to get to brew beer right now, but I'll be out here tomorrow brewing beer. Awesome. Oh, you're a bag of shit. Here we go. We've got some wild things happening with the clouds right now, but that was it. That was 5 for 5. That's the brew house that we built for $500. And we're done. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you've got any questions, please feel free to hit us up in the comments on our website, rysk.ca. If you want to see some of the behind the scenes stuff, pop over to our Patreon. And if you want to be a part of a live discussion, every Saturday night, midnight Eastern, we are on Twitch TV/Risky Business. Please don't hesitate to come by, pop in. We'd love to talk to you. So come on by. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it.